it's Jessie V, and today I have yet another story time. I don't know what's with all these story times lately, honestly. I think I just went so long without telling story times that I missed them, and I know you guys missed them. You were constantly tweeting me and commenting on my videos like, Jessie, where did the story times go? And I just have so many, as I tell you all the time. I have journals of literally so many things that have happened in my life and so many story time ideas, and things are constantly happening in my life that are new as well that I could tell you guys, just like the cottage experience that I just had last week. So I feel like story times will be endless, and I feel like my channel sort of went in the wrong direction for a while, so I'm sort of steering myself back to story times and creepy content. So I want to do a mixture because I sort of just left story times in the dark for a while, and now I'm saying, come back story times. I missed you. So today's story time happened when I was in grade 6, so this happened when I was in elementary school, and it was pretty freaky, and I had to tell it to you. But before I get started, I had this really interesting idea for you guys. I really wanted to make a video where I reacted to your old diary entries. So if you have a journal you used to write in, or a diary you used to write in, like maybe when you were little or something, just take a picture of one of the pages that you find maybe the funniest or the weirdest, and send that picture to me on Twitter, on Instagram, just wherever you want, and I want to make a video reading them and reacting to them. Now obviously make sure these diary entries aren't too personal, and make sure that they are appropriate, because I don't want to like read a diary entry that, you know, is like too personal to put on the internet. Like I had diaries from when I was like 7 years old, and they're so hilarious to look back on. So if you guys have anything like that, definitely take a picture of it, send it to me on Twitter, Instagram, wherever, and then next week I'm going to be reacting to these diary entries. So hopefully you guys think that's a good idea. I always like to make content that kind of involves you guys. And let's say you never kept a diary or a journal, so you can't participate in this video. Do not worry, because each month I'm going to be doing different types of videos that you guys can submit stuff to, so if not this one, maybe the next one. So anyways, let's get into this story. So, you know, when you're little, I feel like you just have a really giant imagination. So when you're hanging with your friends or a group of people who are your age when you're young, I feel like you just sort of create stuff in your mind that can end up scaring you. Like sometimes your imagination can go so far that you genuinely start to believe what you made up. You know what I mean? So when I was in grade 6 and I went to this school, basically at recess, it was pretty interesting because you'd have the playground area, and then you'd have this giant field that was fenced off, and behind the fence was this forest. I feel like there's always a forest in my video. Why my entire life am I surrounded by forests? I have no clue. So obviously when you're out playing at recess, you have to stay within the fence, right? Because that's the school's property. If you go beyond the fence, you're leaving the school's property, and people are probably gonna call the police to go find you. So as you guys are listening to this story, please never leave your school's boundaries. Your school's boundaries keep you safe, because whatever is beyond that, your teachers have no control over what happens, you know? So just as you're listening, keep that in mind, because I don't want your parents to be mad at me. So I don't know where this rumor started from, but I found out about it in grade 6, and people started saying that beyond the fence and inside the forest, there lived a witch. Now obviously there are a lot of different meanings for witches, and not all witches are evil and all that kind of stuff, but in our mind, the witch we were thinking about was the sort of scary, like Hansel and Gretel witch, like one of those really creepy fairy tale sort of witches. So yeah, the rumor was that she lived inside of this big tree inside of the forest, so no one wanted to climb that fence or even to really go near that fence. Now, when I first heard this rumor, of course I was curious, because you know me, I'm a curious person. So one day at recess, I was with I think 5 of my friends. We decided to go to the very back of like the recess boundary. We literally went right up to the fence and like looked over it and tried peering into the forest. And we didn't see anything at first. We kind of looked around. We didn't hear anything, didn't notice anything. So we're all like, okay, it's probably just just a rumor that someone made up. It's probably not real. But one of my friends piped up and was like, no, 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 it's real. Like one day my friend Timothy went over the fence, went in there, and he saw a lady. He saw the witch. So because recess was almost over, we decided not to go investigate because obviously we only had 5 minutes and our teachers would notice that we were gone. So we all like came up with this giant plan that the next day at recess we'd hop the fence and go slightly into the forest to see what was there. Now, like I said before, never ever do that, okay? I tell you guys these stories to sort of take lessons from what I did as a child and just not do them yourself. So the next day came around and all of my friends were ready to hop the fence. So we went outside for recess, and usually there was, I think, 2 or 3 teachers who kind of monitored recess because literally grades 1 to grades 8 were all out there at once. It was a giant playground, okay? Like everybody was out there, so we needed quite a few teachers to monitor. So we had this one teacher who sort of monitored the field area by that fence, and they would sort of walk back and forth, so we started to time it. So once they walked all the way to one side, we're like, okay, ready, set, go, and we jumped over the fence. And the fence was actually not that tall at all. It was maybe our height. I don't know why the school wouldn't make it taller because it was just super easy for us to get over. So 4 of us jumped over, and one of my friends, let's call her Jamie, she actually got scared and she's like, you know what, I don't want to get in trouble, I'm just gonna stay here and sort of look out. So we're like, cool, even better. She has eyes on the teachers while we go. So we went in, we were walking for like 30 seconds and we don't see anything, and we're starting to get a little bit scared and paranoid, not because of like the witch situation, but because we just don't want to get in trouble, because I'm pretty sure leaving school grounds will get you like suspended at least. Also, if my mom is watching this, I am so sorry. You did not know that I did this. Please don't be mad at me, okay? I was in grade 6. I was little. So we were walking through the forest. We maybe had like 10 more minutes before recess was over, and we were just thinking, okay, there's literally nothing in here. And then off in the distance, we see this figure move, and it's definitely a lady's silhouette. I remember her having this super long gray dress on with these like tall brown boots. She was holding a basket or something, and literally, you know how little kids work. When you see something that scares you, you all just start screaming and running. Like all my friends were like, oh my gosh, it's the witch, it's the witch. So they turn around, we're all running. I was like the last one in the pack because I don't run very fast, so I was terrified. All my friends were ahead of me and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, she might be chasing me. So we all run back, jump the fence, we're all screaming towards the school. I remember a teacher like grabbing one of us and like, slow down, like what happened? And obviously we didn't want to tell them that we just jumped the fence, so we're like, oh, nothing, we're playing tag. So literally none of the teachers ever found out. So if a teacher from my school is watching this, once again, I apologize. But as scared as we also were just so excited to brag to our friends that we actually saw the witch. So like for the next year, like everyone in our class just knew that we found the witch, like we saw the witch. Some people didn't actually believe us, which was understandable, but like we just bragged it. Now looking back as a 24-year-old, do I think I actually found a witch from like a fairy tale sort of thing? No. Because I know behind that forest there's a lot of farmland and like old farmhouses and stuff, so it could have literally been a lady that lived at one of those houses that was just like walking around doing her farming sort of thing. Like it could just have been something as simple as that, obviously. Or maybe just a lady like walking through the woods. But you gotta admit, it was coincidental that she appeared when we jumped the fence. Like that's the only thing that was coincidental. But yeah, I thought this would be a fun story to tell you guys. Please always follow the rules and do not get yourself in trouble. But yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.